Stop saying you're beautiful. You're not wrong. You're just speaking the cheapest language in the room. Every man with a pulse says it. It's the free sample at the front of the store, the compliment that requires zero perception, zero courage, and zero identity. You say it, she hears it, and in your mind you imagine it lands like a velvet arrow. In reality, it floats past her like elevator music. You didn't offend, you just didn't register. You didn't separate yourself from the crowd. You became another background voice, praising the obvious, chasing what everyone else is already chasing. Tonight, that ends. Starting now, you retire the word beautiful from your mouth like a burned-out suit you'll never wear again. Not because you're afraid of compliments. Because you're graduating from flattery to influence. Because a man who actually commands attention does not describe what is obvious. He reveals what is invisible. And the moment you learn to do that, you stop sounding like a fan and start feeling like a force. If what you've heard so far is already shifting how you see yourself, stay with me until the end, because we're just getting started. The truth is, attraction lives in the gap between what she expects to hear and what you actually notice. The average guy compliments the surface because he's too nervous to risk being specific. The powerful man names the effect, the intention, the pattern behind the surface, and he does it in a way that frames him as the judge of value, not the hunter begging for approval. When you say you're beautiful, you position yourself beneath her, you're auditioning. When you say, I like the way you take your time before you answer, women who think before they speak are rare, you position yourself beside her, you're observing. When you say you just slowed the room down, like a calm field under wind, you position yourself above the moment. You're directing the experience. You are no longer praising an asset she didn't earn. You are recognizing a choice she makes, a presence she created, an intention she controls. That's the difference between a throwaway compliment and a line she replays at 2 a.m. Look at the psychology behind this. Complimenting a fixed trait, face, body, general beauty, costs you status because it implies you re-impressed by the same basic signals that impress everyone. It's safe and obvious, so it tells her you are safe and obvious. Complimenting a controllable trait, effort, attitude, timing, restraint, curiosity, creates affinity and respect because you are rewarding character, not luck. You're signaling standards. You're saying, I notice what others miss, and I value what lasts. And that message elevates you without putting her down. Attraction is not a currency you pay with words. It's a frame you install with perception. The more precisely you see, the more powerfully you speak. Precision communicates strength, and strength is sexy. So what do you say instead? You name her effect, not her asset. You reveal intention, not appearance. You calibrate, not confess. The formula is simple. Observation of a subtle behavior plus interpretation that implies rarity plus frame, that positions you as the chooser. Listen to how it lands. I like how you slow your breathing before you talk. Most people rush to be heard. You make silence work for you. Or, the way you hold eye contact right after a joke tells me you care more about sincerity than applause. Or, I noticed you touched your necklace twice when you were thinking that it's your tell when you redeciding whether to trust someone. These lines aren't poetry, they're proof. Proof that you're awake. Proof that your attention has teeth. Proof that your words are earned. But let me give you something even more practical. The move I call spotlight and pivot. You spotlight one thing about her that others miss, then you pivot the frame back to the connection you're creating. Example, you have a calm way of scanning a room before you pick a spot. I like women who are deliberate. Come stand with me for 2 minutes. I want your read on something. Spotlight, deliberate presence. Pivot, invitation with a time boundary that shows leadership. Another example, you listen to the end of a question before you answer. Rare. I'm stealing you for a minute. I'd be curious what you'd do on a perfect Sunday if your phone didn't exist. Spotlight, patience, pivot, leading curiosity into a picture that reveals values. Notice how none of that begs, none of that apologizes. You're not here to win permission. You're here to set a tone. Most men talk to looks, speak to identity, tell her what her choices say about her. You order the strangest thing on the menu and then don't explain yourself. That's confident. You keep your bag on the chair, not the floor. You travel light on purpose. You tilt your head when someone's bragging. That's your quiet filter. Identity compliments stick because they create a mirror she wants to step closer to. They don't inflate her, they define her. And when you define with respect and accuracy, you become the man whose perspective she values. This is the psycho-emotional trigger you're after. Women are drawn to men who offer a meaningful reflection. Not a fantasy, not a pedestal, a reflection. When your words give her a cleaner, sharper image of herself, she keeps coming back for that feeling. If this is hitting something inside you, drop your thoughts below. I read every single one. There's another layer. Tension architecture. Power is not in the line, it's in the space around the line. After you deliver a precise observation, shut up. Let the silence do half the work. Silence signals comfort with impact. Silence says, I said what I meant, and I don't need to fill the space. Think of how different it feels to say, you're beautiful, then keep babbling, versus saying, you look like the kind of woman who chooses her battles and wins them, and then just letting your eyes hold. The second creates a frame where she has to respond. She has to either agree, challenge, or explore. You've opened a door and stepped aside. This is masculine presence in practice. Less explaining, more directing, less frosting, more substance. Now let's talk about the gateway line. The one statement that replaces "you're beautiful" in almost any scenario and never cheapens you. You have a presence that slows people down. It's clean, it's uncommon, and it complements the effect she has, not the package she's in. Say it when she sits, when she joins a group, when she turns, when she laughs and the table leans in. Whisper it or state it with calm confidence. If you want variations, here are 7 that cover most situations. You're the interruption I don't mind. You make this space feel less noisy. You carry yourself like you've already decided the night is good. You look like you protect your attention, and I like that. You feel unhurried, which is rare here. You read people fast. I can see you filtering. You've got that "I'm exactly where I meant to be" energy. Not one of those mentions her face. Every one of them reaches her nervous system. Understand the calibration rules. Early in an interaction, avoid complimenting something every man has already noticed in the first 3 seconds. Eyes, hair, dress, curves, basic looks. Those are low stakes. They're already priced into her day. Aim for second-order signals. Pace of speech, timing of humor, how she claims space, how she disengages, how she evaluates, where she places her hands, what she avoids. If you're speaking to a woman in motion, compliment the choice embedded in the motion. You walk like you don't mind being late, if it means staying composed. If you're speaking to a woman at rest, compliment the structure of her rest. You sit like you own your evening. If you're speaking to a woman in conversation, compliment her listening architecture. You pause at the hinge of a story. That's when I know you actually care about the answer. These are compliments she hasn't rehearsed a response to, which is why they create real connection. Let's get even more tactical. Use the 3-beat method. Notice, name, nudge. You notice a pattern. You name it in plain language. You nudge the moment forward. You keep looking at the door when new people walk in. Scout energy. Come with me. I want your opinion on something. Or do you switch from playful to serious in one sentence? That range is attractive. I'm curious what actually gets your full attention. Or you have that habit of answering the question you wish I asked. Dangerous. I want the real one. In each case, you demonstrate awareness, you define it, and then you lead. That leadership is the difference between a compliment and a move. Compliments sit, moves create direction. Avoid the apology pattern. Men who fear rejection sugarcoat everything, laugh at their own words to soften edges, or add a question mark where a period should go. "You're beautiful" is a nervous boy asking for a gold star. "You have a presence that slows people down" is a man making a statement. Another apology pattern, layering too many softeners. "I don't mean to be weird, but I just had to say, sorry if this is awkward." You just told her to feel awkward. Clean your language. Had to becomes chose to. Weird becomes specific. Sorry becomes silence. Try it right now. Replace "I had to tell you you beautiful" with "I chose to tell you you feel unhurried." Feel the difference in your chest. One leans in seeking approval. The other stands tall, offering value. Let S talk about challenge, because a compliment without edge is sugar without salt. It melts and then disappears. Challenge doesn't mean negging or insults. It means you reveal a standard, and she has to step up to meet it. You look like you ruin men who try to rush you. Then hold eye contact. She'll say, "Do I?" You reply, "You tell me." Or you read people fast. That can be dangerous if you stop being curious. She'll ask, "You think I'm not curious?" You say, "I guess we'll find out." You're creating a dance where your observation invites her to show you more. You're not testing her like a gatekeeper. You're creating a game of discovery where you hold the ball. Use the environment to your advantage. In a coffee shop with the smell of roasted beans and the low hum of conversation, tell her, "You drink like someone who makes decisions in sips, not gulps." In a bar where laughter bumps off glass and wood, tell her, "You didn't check your phone once." That concentration is magnetic. At a dinner table with candles reflecting in cutlery, tell her, "You rearranged the place setting so your fork's angle felt right. I like people who tune their space." On a street with neon glinting off wet pavement, tell her, "You didn't flinch when the car splashed the curb. You've seen worse than tonight." Every place offers a line. You just have to stand still inside your body long enough to notice. Don't underestimate the power of "because." When you decide to actually compliment something about her look, attach a "because" that points to identity. That dress looks good on you because it fits your unhurried vibe. Your hair works because it makes your eyes look more decisive. That color is a problem because it makes you look like you know something the rest of us don't. The "because" shifts the compliment from surface to meaning. And meaning is what she craves, not because she's fragile, because meaning is rare. Most people can describe, very few can interpret. Be the interpreter. Now, there is an advanced move that you all use once you re-centered. Call out the subtext. You notice the message behind the message and speak to it. You're flirting, but you're testing how safe it feels to enjoy yourself. You keep your shoulders angled away like you're half leaving. Don't. Stay for 1 minute. You answered my question like a professional. Answer it like a person. These lines only work when your presence is steady and your tone is warm. If you're jittery, they'll sound like accusations. Calibration matters. But when you're grounded, calling out subtext is like switching on a lamp in a dim room. Suddenly, everyone is awake. Another tool, praise restraint. Most compliments reward what's loud. You reward what's controlled. You didn't rush to fill the silence. That's confident. You smiled with your eyes first. That's honest. You passed on the selfie and chose the moment instead. I respect that. Women who carry depth are allergic to men who are impressed by noise. They want to feel seen by a man whose nervous system isn't begging for novelty. Praise restraint, and you communicate that your appetite is disciplined, not desperate. Now, some lines you can try in different contexts, each with a reason behind it, so you understand the engine, not just the paint. At a gallery where people pretend to understand everything, you darned it nod along when you'd be bored. That honesty is attractive. Reason rewards truth over performance, sets you as a man who values sincerity. At a busy bar with music pressing against conversation, your calm makes this place look loud in a childish way. Reason contrasts her composure with the chaos, elevating her without begging. At a quiet coffee shop with clattering cups, you read people like you read pages. You stop when a sentence has weight. Reason shows depth of perception, associates her with discernment. On a date when she reveals a boundary, thanks for being direct, that's sexy because it saves both of us time. Reason reinforces clarity, builds trust, and adds a masculine frame. When she tests you with playful resistance, you'd have fun when you push back, just don't mistake my patience for weakness. Reason, challenge without aggression, keeps tension alive. When she dresses with intention, you could wear anything, but you choose coherence. Reason shifts focus from looks to intention. When she laughs, but controls it, you laugh like you choosing where to put it. Reason rewards restraint and control. When you about to end the interaction intentionally, you're interesting enough to continue, but I'm leaving on a high note. Reason shows scarcity and standards without game playing. If she wants more, she'll pursue. Notice how each line is a lens. You're not flattering, you're curating reality. You're not inflating, you're exposing. That's what turns a comment into a connection. There's one more move that separates men who get attention from men who keep it. Name your own standard out loud. I reward women who protect their attention. I'm drawn to calm over hype. I like people who are comfortable changing their mind when given better evidence. When you reveal your criteria, your compliments feel earned instead of random. And when a woman hears your standards, she decides whether to meet them. That decision is the psychological hook you want, because now she's investing. She's choosing, and attraction deepens wherever choice lives. You'll be tempted to dump all of this into one conversation. Don't. Choose one or two high-precision observations and deliver them with patience. Then let curiosity carry the rest. Ask questions that reveal values, not resume items. What do you guard most on your calendar? What would your closest friend say your superpower is? When do you feel most like yourself? Weave in micro-compliments sparingly. That answer was exact. I like how you edit yourself mid-thought. Notice how you didn't perform that story. That was real. You are building a narrative where both of you feel seen. Attraction lives inside that narrative. The final reframe is this: you are not avoiding a you're beautiful to be clever. You're avoiding it to stay powerful. Any man can validate what she knows. Only a few can reveal what she feels but hasn't named. Be that man. The next time you see her and your mouth prepares to toss a coin into the fountain of cliché, stop, breathe, watch. Identify one choice she made that others missed. Then speak to it with a line that lands like a hand on her lower back. Steady, unapologetic, and leading somewhere on purpose. You carry yourself like you were not here to be discovered. That's why I noticed. Then let silence do what boys fear. Let it make space for her to step toward you. If this has shifted how you'll approach your next conversation, stay with me to the last word, because the way you talk after tonight is not about memorizing lines. It's about upgrading your attention. You are training your nervous system to observe reality with more fidelity than the men around you. You're trading in the cheap applause of obvious flattery for the quiet control of precise recognition. You are becoming a man whose presence edits the room. That's the point. Not that she ends the night thinking he called me beautiful, but that she leaves thinking he saw me, and then she can't help wanting more of that. So here's your close, your clean call to action that doesn't sound like a poster on a wall. Over the next week, pick 3 moments. One with a stranger, one with a woman you know, and one with yourself in a mirror. With the stranger, replace "you're beautiful" with "you have a presence" that slows people down, followed by one specific "because." With the woman you know, replace "you look great" with "you seem calmer tonight. What did you choose to leave out?" And with yourself, replace "I hope she likes me" with "I am here to see clearly and lead lightly." Do that, and your words will start to carry. If this hits something inside you, drop your thoughts below. I actually read every single one. And if you know a brother who keeps wasting his voice on empty flattery, send this to him today. Don't keep it to yourself. The world already has enough fans. It's time you spoke like a man.